one of the rock stars said to hit the track and lock, but it's still doing it. Hit it. Did I hit it? It's still doing it. Travis. It's still doing it. Man, it look kind of blurry anyway. That might be my eyes, child. I can't see nothing. What's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all.
All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you could hear it all throughout the store.
This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? Stories probably won't be happy, but this first story is okay. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Well, it is a good story. Congratulations are in order to British Williams. You guys remember British Williams from the Basketball Wives franchise. Actually, she was on the Basketball Wives LA franchise when she was married to, or dating maybe, Lorenzo Gordon. He was a basketball player. He didn't play in the NBA. He played overseas. Okay, I think he did play in the NBA maybe a couple of seasons, but then he ended up going overseas and doing well over there. Okay, so that's how she ended up on the show. But you guys remember that I was telling you guys that during the COVID was probably the worst thing to happen to some people. COVID and them PPP loans and all the shit that the government did for the people, and the way that the people took advantage of it, you know, it was just like, yeah, some people just did not need to have that kind of leeway. Okay, British was probably one of them. Okay, so she was convicted and had a 4-year bid. She was convicted back in 2023. She pled guilty to felonies, including I think it was 5 counts. The number is not on here, but I think it was supposed to be 5 counts of misuse of a social security number, 4 counts of bank fraud, 3 counts of making false statements to the IRS, 3 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of separate pandemic fraud scams totaling $564,000. She also submitted 9 applications for economic injury disaster loans, falsified her business income, payroll, and criminal history, and secured a $144,400 loan from the PPP people. She also got a $53,000 from another PPP loan. She got rent relief during COVID. She lied about being a California resident with a lower income than what she really had. She had tax trouble. And child, nobody wants to be in tax problems. Apparently, she must have been working as a DJ, a radio DJ. So she's been working. Okay, so, but she filed exempt. And then, of course, you know, when you file exempt, they don't take out any taxes. But you still are expected to pay those taxes. So then when the tax time came, you know, she was expected to pay this large amount, and she didn't pay it. So they considered that tax fraud. And that was a $90,000 income that she was having. So I thought that the girl wasn't working out there. But if she... What's going on? Why is he running like that? You don't like to see police officers and shit running high speed like that. What is he doing? Is he serious? What's happening? Okay, you guys. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, British was out there and she was moving wrong. So like I said, the pandemic and all that, it just gave too many people too much rope to hang themselves. That's what British did. She finally probably got tired of just fighting the fight. Was probably tired of trying to come up with stories to cover up this story and all of that. And she probably was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just say guilty. Give me my time. Let me get this finished and get it out of my way. So that's what she ended up doing. But she went on in jail and, you know, found her community in there. You guys used to see the pictures. They be cute up in there. Everybody was made up. And I was like, oh, those must be the it girls. Them must be the it girls of that jail. Honey, British went and found her tribe. and shit. She made that shit work for 2 years. Listen, what else can you do, child? You do your best. You know, you fuck up, you know, and if you're gonna pay your time and everything, you just got to make the best of it. So I mean, she did what she had to do, and I just think that that's like, you know, sometimes you have niggas that be trying to fight that shit tooth and nail all the way to the end, when everybody be like, nigga, you know you did what they said. Why you going through all this? You know, of course nobody wants to go to jail, but at some point, you know, it's just like, it is what it is. And I think British was there. And for that, I think that that's commendable, you guys. So I'm not mad. You know, we saw the video of when she was getting out. I'm not mad that she, you know, decided to take responsibility. She's out of jail now, and hopefully she's gonna do better with her life. Like, I'm all about letting people having a second chance. I'm all about it. Okay? Because sometimes people make mistakes, and you have to give a person a chance to correct it. Now, if they fuck up again after you've given them a chance to correct something, now that's something different. Now you got to handle that the way you got to. But I think that everybody needs to have a chance to redeem themselves. So I think that maybe that's where British is. You know, we saw Lorenzo. We know they've had some troubled history and everything, but you know, at least at the end of the day, he was there for her. You know, he had the baby while she was in jail. He looked like he had the daughter. And he posted video. They were excited. They had flowers, you know, and they were going to go pick her up. And the little girl was really happy about seeing her mother, you know, and British was happy about seeing her daughter. And you guys know how I am about mother-daughter things. So I was just like, oh, you know, so hopefully that British does right. You know, we just hope that people gon', you know, do right. So I'm sure she don't want to be back in jail, even though she looked like she had a good ass time there. But, you know, to be away from your child and everything. So hopefully, you know, she learned her lesson. Welcome home, old British. Okay, next story. Porsha and Simon's marital home, child. I said, poor boy, that damn home. First of all, did you guys know that home was worth $7.3 million? Damn. I mean, I know they had money, but I didn't know they had that kind of money. That is $7.3 million in Atlanta. I need you to understand that is a lot of house and big money, because, you know, like in LA, 7 million, but in Atlanta, because the house market, even though the house market is rising here, it's still not that high. So to have a $7.3 million house in Atlanta, man, you is doing something. Okay. So apparently you guys know that when they finalized the divorce, Porsha got the house. But she got the house, but if she was to sell the house, then she doesn't get the equity. So if she sells the house, she has to split the equity with Simon. And if she, but she's still in the house, right? Well, apparently Simon, his lawyer, her name is Onyema Ferry. I know that name is African. Onyema Ferry. She was his lawyer. She filed a lien against their house because the lawyer says that he owes $205,884.25 for services provided on his divorce of Porsha. So he hasn't paid his lawyer who was representing him in the divorce. So the lawyer is just like, okay, well, if you're not going to pay that, then I'm going to put a lien on the house till I get my money. Okay, because it's $7.3 million, so she can get her money out that house. Now, I'm sure Simon ain't thinking about that damn house. Okay, I'm sure Simon is not going to pay that lien. I mean, he's not going to pay because I'm sure he's salty about the fact that Porsha's there, but he would be smart to not do that because he about to lose his equity in that house if he don't pay nothing. So he kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place, because if you don't pay, you're going to lose the house. And then, of course, if you pay, then you're coming out of pocket. So Simon really don't have no choice because he's going to forfeit, but he might be just mad and salty enough to just be like, fuck it. If I don't get no money, she don't get no money either. Okay? Because, you know, Simon said he looked at Porsha and think that she saw him coming, a sucker. Okay? Now all of a sudden he feeling like he was taken advantage of and everything. All right? I don't know however you feel Porsha was doing, that's between you and Porsha. All I do know is He was just like, I ain't paying shit. $7.3 million, you guys. Now, he was detained by ICE. All right. And so ICE, so the judge, so he told the judge that this divorce and all this shit that happened with Porsha, you know, it ain't been nothing but a problem. Now he got detained. He been sent away. He's saying that he cannot, you know, he can't run his business successfully. The judge was just like, nope, that's a lie. You resided out of the country for 1.5 years and you ran your business fine. Now Simon has an actual real business. It's called Simcol, SIMCOL. That sounds like one of them names of them businesses you see on the stock market. If you guys play like stocks and all of that shit, then you be seeing names like that, SIMCOL. He has a business. I don't know what it does, but he said that the business value went from $296 million to nothing after he was detained by ICE. And they was like, yeah, that's lies, because you've been out the country before for a long length of time and had no issue running your business. So, you know, they was like, yeah, that's cap, like the kids like to say. Okay, so yeah. Simon also has to pay her $40,000 a month, I think, for the next 2 or 3 years. Porsha came out like a fat cat. Now, she wants to keep this house. She has 36 months to refinance it and get his name off the mortgage. Otherwise, you know, she got to sell it and they split the proceeds or whatever. Or the profits, I should say. But yeah, you guys. All I can say is got to be more careful. Like when you hear about that story, it's just like watching a ping pong match. Like, okay, that one got the ball now. That one got the ball. No, that one got the ball. Oh, okay, that one got the ball. Okay, now that one got the ball. Now that one. They both was the same. They both was scamming. Maybe Porsha a little bit harder than Simon. Simon saw a big ass and a smile child. And he was like, thought that he was picked the right one. I know he rue today. Every time I hear about Simon and Porsha, I'll be like, who is over there keeping score, child? Because them two go back and forth. It's like somebody should have a tally of who was winning that one over there. Child, he had to pay half of her legal bills, had to give up a 2021 damn Rolls Royce. And her legal bills is $224,000. I'm telling you, look, Simon, that was a piece of the most expensive ass that he has ever had. I bet you. Next story. All right, you guys, as of now, they say that Wendy Williams will remain on the court-appointed guardianship after they did an extensive test on her. So we know that Wendy told us that she passed with flying colors and everything. Maybe Wendy took a few liberties. Just a few. Because they said when they ran their tests and everything, they still found that she is still suffering from frontotemporal dementia. Okay, so they may have said that's not what it is, but the doctors are saying no, that is indeed what the case is. You guys, I do believe that Wendy has something. Wendy is still not normal. Wendy looks a lot better. You can tell that, you know, they're trying to do better by her, by keeping her, you know, put together better and all. And she seems a little bit more lucid, but she is not lucid enough still to me. She looks like she needs help. She needs the help. I just hate that they have her with this guardianship, this woman. What is the lady's name? Her and this woman ain't been getting along. I think there's some different, I think Wendy's people have put in lawsuits against this woman, and said that she's been mean and harsh and, you know, hasn't done things in Wendy's best interest and all of that. You know, for some time. What's the lady's name? Shannon, what is her name? Did I put it in the notes? Yeah, Gina Lisa Monterosso. So they really want to just remove Gina Lisa from this whole thing. Somebody standing right in front of my car, just staring, looking at me, like trying to figure out what's going on. You needed something? I said, you needed something?
No, I was trying to see what kind of setup you had going on.
Oh, okay.
You in a meeting?
No.
You like doing a podcast or something?
I have a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
What is it?
It's I do like entertainment gossip and review different TV shows and everything. Yeah. It's called itsrox.
Itsrox?
It's my same as my license plate. It's ITS and then ROX.
Oh, okay. ITS ROX. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck. I'll find
Thank you. Thank you.
right.
Take care. Okay. Well, at least somebody finally asked, because normally people just stand in my front of my car and everything. Well, he didn't ask, but I asked him. But normally people would just walk off and everything, you guys. I always, you know, when we came back from the pandemic, these people don't know me like my old group. So these new people, they don't know what I'm doing out here. So folks just be standing and looking. But anyway, yeah. I hate that Wendy got caught up with such a strict and crazy guardian. Maybe they can find somebody. I just wish that they could just let her niece do it. They said that they're going to hold off until November. They're going to give her some time and let her figure it out. And let, you know, the people, they're going to look over everything and see if this is something where they need to remove this Gina Lisa lady and put somebody else. So, you know, we'll get our story. I mean, we'll get the final say in November. I hope they remove her. Not necessarily. She still needs the help, because we don't need another Britney Spears situation. Britney over there, child, I don't know what's, baby, we just pray for Britney. I think we did Britney a grave disservice. I really do. Okay, I be happy every time I still find out that Britney is over there still alive and kicking and doing okay, twirling in her panties. As long as I know she's okay, I'm good. But I think that we don't need another situation that happened with Britney with Wendy. So she still needs the help. She just needs the right help. Okay, but yeah, that situation still makes me really sad to think about. I hate that happened to Wendy, but all right, y'all, that's that on that. Let's move on to the next story. All right, you guys, I don't know. You guys have to let me know who you think won in this battle here. It's not even really a real battle, you guys, but you guys saw Omar Gooding and Cameron going back and forth about this whole, I mean, it's so stupid. I kind of feel like it's something that probably just got out of hand. So it feels like, so Cameron was on his podcast that he has with Mace as normal. And he was talking, I don't even know what they were talking about. It seems like they were probably talking about how black actors don't have it as well as other actors of different, you know, racial persuasions or whatever. And he was saying like how the black actors, you know, they can't even, I gotta put my fan on. The black actors can't even, like, they can't even write their own tickets. Basically, they have to wait till somebody like a 50 Cent or somebody gets in touch with them and tells them they won't put them on the show before, you know, people really start considering these black actors out here, you know. And I don't think he was being disrespectful, but when he said it, he was like, you know, you got niggas like Bing Rames or Omar Gooding Jr. That's what he said. Now we know it's Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. is named after his father. That was the lead singer for the Fifth Dimension. I think that's the name of the group. Was it Fifth Dimension? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Harold Melvin and the no, anyway. Let me get off back on track. So a lot of people will still say, because I have found myself in the past saying Omar Gooding Jr. It's something about just Cuba Gooding Jr., Omar Gooding Jr. The Gooding Jr. just rolls off your tongue. So people have a tendency to say Gooding Jr. when really it's only one, and it's Cuba. It's really Cuba, but you know, Cuba Gooding Jr. So when Cameron said that, Omar heard it and I guess took offense. He probably took offense more to what Cameron was talking about, because he was saying, without saying, he wasn't talking bad about Omar, but he was kind of talking about them almost being like washed up. And so like they have to wait until somebody comes towards them. Hold on one second. Hey.
Famous. I'm following you now.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
I'm Danny.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you, Danny. Okay, take care. He said I'm famous. Not quite famous if I'm fucking working in this damn bitch. I don't think that Cameron was really trying to come after Omar, but Omar probably took some offense. But I'm also thinking like Omar maybe slightly took offense, but not really. But probably was like, oh, I ain't got shit to do. Let's kind of see what we can do with this. Okay, maybe Omar knew that he could rap, and maybe he wanted to kind of just, let's just do something fun. Let me just get out there and do something and come back at Cameron. So I feel like he probably used this instance to come at Cameron and try to see if we can like foster this beef, but just for entertainment purposes and everything. And so he comes back at Cameron through Wax, and is rapping, and apparently the song is good. I haven't heard it. I mean, I think it's a couple of songs, but even Cameron said the song was good. But now the reason why this story is, it's two things that I feel about this. The first thing that I feel is, now I know that Cameron said what he said. I don't think he was coming for Omar Gooding, but yeah, he was being a little, you know, the whole thing kind of being washed up actors and everything. I mean, so I can see why Omar kind of felt the way that he felt. But to me, it still goes back to Omar, because Cameron wasn't being malicious. So when Omar came back out and did what he did, you know, that's sort of like a corn move to me. Because it was just like, nigga, I wasn't even trying to, like, I said your name wrong, but I wasn't really trying to come at you like this to be starting like a whole fucking beef on wax and shit. So to me, Omar is like, you know, but again, I don't think that Omar really was trying to be that serious about it. I think he just, because when Cameron came out first and said, was just like, nigga, I just said that on accident, you know, Omar came back out and was just like, get in the booth. Like, get in the booth, nigga. Like, if that's what you want to do, like, I got in the booth, so why don't you get in the booth? Like, I think he was trying to have, like, fun with it. So that's why I was just like, yeah, Omar, like, why'd you feel away when it was no reason? But then Cameron took it further, which, you know, he always is going to take it further because he's Cameron. So then I had an issue with Cameron because, nigga, you went through all of this for a practical joke? Okay, nigga, to try to make somebody look bad? So after all that went on, you know, and I guess Omar did his music on wax and whatnots, well, then Cameron thought it would be a funny joke to actually book Omar Gooding. Okay, I guess he was making a point about how these black actors have to take way less money. I think that's what part of the story when him and Mace was talking on the podcast originally. I think part of the conversation as well was talking about how black actors have to take less money and have to do things that, you know, their white counterparts don't have to do in this whole acting game. Okay, so now what Cameron ends up doing is hiring Omar, but Omar doesn't know that it's Cameron. He has this whole dummy thing set up, having Omar thinking that he is flying him out to film something. I don't know if he was supposed to be auditioning for something or if he was supposed to just be filming some little small something or whatever. So Cameron spent $3,500 to like do this whole elaborate practical joke. And within this $3,500 practical joke of flying Omar and everything, he still paid Omar Gooding $2,500 and everything. And then, you know, and then he went on to let us all know that he did that and he hired the man and he paid him $2,500. And look, nigga, that ain't even real. Look at you, nigga. Okay. And it was just sort of like, wait a minute. There's never, ever a time where I get paid $2,500 and the joke is on me? Like, huh? How does that make sense? Like, no, Cameron, like, you spend money. Like, when you go far, spending that kind of money and giving to the person that you're trying to play the joke on, like, no, you really kind of lost on that one. Yes, it was extremely petty, and yes, it was funny, okay? But what? Like, I don't care about Omar's titties. Like, I mean, you get to be my age. Most of the men my age have titties, okay? It's just what it is. Like, so that doesn't, he had a white beater on, he had titties like most of them do. So that's nothing that's going to make me just really laugh that much. I mean, I looked at it and I was just like, well, damn, you know, and I just kind of laughed and shook my head and everything. But that's still, fuck, nigga, you can see my titties for $2,500. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's not no big. So I was just like, okay, Cam, you kind of took it a little extra far, because now you only really win when you don't spend money, when the other person is still not benefiting. If you trying to put a joke on me, but you paying me for it, like, how is that making me look stupid? I don't give a fuck if you saw me in my wife beater. Absolutely not, you know? So I don't know. I don't think that Cam really won that thing. I kind of feel like they've canceled each other out, and actually I still kind of feel like Omar won, because Omar not only had music that everybody says sounds pretty good, but the nigga made $2,500. Okay, so What are we talking about here, people? What do you guys think? Who do you think has? What do you have to think about that? Who do you think has it in that conversation? Y'all let me let me know, and we're gonna move on to this last story. All right, you guys, this last story has been about the Frost. Honey, the Frost family has wrapped up my top of the blogs for 2 weeks here. And actually, this story is actually pretty sad, you guys. So, Kirk and Rasheeda have a daughter named Kelsey. Actually, Kelsey is Kirk's daughter. And that is Rasheeda's stepdaughter, okay? He had her from a different relationship. But we know Kelsey, we know Kirk's kids because of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Now, I haven't watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta since season 10. I think they're on like season 13 or 14 or maybe in 15 now. I don't know. But so I don't know if the kids are still on the show. But you guys remember, I remember when I was watching the show and they were on there, and that was right around the time that Kirk and Rasheeda, you know, they had opened Frost Bistro and shit. Is that supposed to still be going on? I have never been there. I've never heard nothing about it. I've never heard not one person from Atlanta, anybody I know ever talk about that place. I've never seen it, nothing. Okay, but they was there. I remember they was fighting with their boyfriends and girlfriends and shit at the place. Okay, but apparently DLow's son Kai is the person who has been blamed, or named, I should say, as a suspect in the shooting death of this rapper T Hood. Okay, mama named him Tevin Hood. Now apparently Tevin Hood, T Hood, Mr. T Hood, he is a rapper out here, and Kelsey, DLow's daughter, has been dating him. Apparently they've been seeing each other. They live together. He had a place, or she had a place, or they had a place together. I think they said in Smyrna or Sandy Springs, somewhere out this way. Apparently they had a confrontation between the two of them that day, and at some point during the day, Kai found out about it and went by the house. There was a confrontation between Kai and Ty Hood, and there was some gunfire exchange, and when it was all said and done, Ty Hood had been killed, okay, by Kai, DLow and Rasheeda's son. And Kai is the brother of Kelsey, who is the girlfriend of Ty Hood, the rapper. Okay, now you can already see where this story is going to be very, very messy, because Kelsey, on social media, people started saying that Kelsey was the blame, and that Kelsey had called her brother because apparently Kelsey and T Hood had got into some sort of domestic confrontation with each other, and he must have beat the girl up. Okay, and so when Kai went over there and got into it with them, they said that Kai tried to walk away, and there was something happened, and like I said, gunfire exchange, and Ty Hood was killed. So Kai ended up staying behind, and he's cooperating with the authorities. And Kelsey apparently had called the mother and let the mom know, that her son had been shot and killed. But I mean, it was her brother. A completely messy situation. Okay, and then again, adding in social media and all the people and all of the, what everybody feels and thinks about it, and wondering, like, did Kelsey call her brother to come over here and shoot this Ty Hood young man? She is denying that and saying that, she never would do that, and she only called the mom to tell him, and that her and her man, they kept their lives private and they worked their issues out in private and all this. And she was trying to say without saying that she never would call anybody to come and shoot. I don't know what happened there. It just sounds like it was just a out of control situation that just grew really, really out of control. And then, when all the smoke cleared, you had somebody killed, which is so unfortunate. You have 3 young people who have all their lives, the course of their lives have changed. You have one who's never going to live the rest of their life. And then, of course, Kelsey and her brother Kai, whose lives have changed. And not probably for the better either. I don't know what's going on at the Frost family, okay, but it's very chaotic. Like, sometimes when it's just too much chaos around you, even good chaos, but sometimes when it's just way too much of shit going on around you, things start to happen like this. Okay, last weekend we were all laughing about Rasheeda and K. Michelle and all of this. They stay in the news. Anytime that show is on, DLow and Rasheeda, it's always something with them. And it's just too much. Like, it's like, why are you guys selling your relationship out to this much where it has gotten to be this out of control that now real life things is happening? I mean, you guys are, you know, even though the son, I'm sure he didn't set out to go over there to kill nobody that day. I mean, I would hope not, you know, but it's like, maybe it's time to like, we need to step back, chill a little bit, like, you know, really try to like get control of what's going on and remembering like what's important and what we doing, because you starting to be in the news too much and for bad reasons, you know, and this is awful that somebody has lost their life. Okay, people, you know, the girl being threatened and feeling afraid that, you know, people are coming after her, whether or not she was involved with the brother, having him coming over there. I mean, the whole thing is just too much. I don't know why they just continue to exploit their marriage on that show. And then I got to wonder why y'all still watching. Because I can't be mad at the show for being on. In a minute, I have to just be mad at wondering why you guys keep on watching that fucking show. Like, what is going in y'all brains to make you guys sit down and watch that shit every Monday night? Do it still come on Monday nights? Nothing good out of Love and Hip Hop. I ain't nothing. This shit with Yandy and Mendeece's going on, a fucking mess. Okay? Yandy saying that she emotionally cheated and all that because her assistant was running off and telling all her business about her having sex. Yeah, I believe that assistant. I believe the assistant. He just had too many stories, you know? But why are you guys exploiting your marriage like this? All right? The shit with Scrappy, now he got a new girlfriend. You know, thank you for waiting for me to get mature. Just stupid. What is... Lord have mercy. Bambi, now she not with that guy no more, you know. And then Sierra mad about Sierra was just talking about somebody on the show. It's like, why do you guys still watch that show? Because at some point, why are we still trying to benefit off this much toxicity? Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is a mess. And then they just come and told us that Charles and Miss Netta fixing to be on there next. I said, Mona, bitch. I thought they said that bitch wasn't on that show. But now I see that she was out to lunch and dinner with them, whining and dining them before they came on that show and made a fool of themselves, child, because you know it's coming. Yeah, Mona. You ought to be fucking ashamed of yourself. Yeah, Charles and Miss Nettie, you better hope you don't wind up like a DLow and Rasheeda. But apparently that's what they all striving for, because, you know, that's when you get the big money. I'm sure they paying Rasheeda good money to sit up there and make a fool out of herself, and then sit up there and now your son is fighting for his life, okay, and being accused of killing somebody and all that. And I mean, I would be worried for my kids. I wouldn't want them to be out on these streets and stuff. I mean, you know, people are thinking that he, you know, that was, they set him up and all that. And you know, when people think of setups, then now you in danger. Yeah, that shit, they need to get control of all of that. Nobody wants that for them. They have too many kids and everything, and like, you just, man, I hate that for all of them. I hate that. You know, prayers up for the Hood family. What's his name? Tevin Hood, his mom, and all them. Prayers up for even the Frost family. Y'all got some shit to do over there though, because this is too much. Too much. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna let it go from here. Y'all let me know what the situation is with Mona. She's still on the damn show or not? All right, you guys, that is it. I'm going to get on off of here. We do this every single week, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.